Yeah.
That's about it.
And I think I sent him the thing first. So
Yeah.
I always send it to him late anyway. Right, here we go. New guest host episode. Right, it's all done.
It's not showing up yet on YouTube.
It won't do. Give it a second. We're live in two. We've been 3 seconds live. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I've got it. Okay. Yeah, I see it now.
Right, that is good. I should get the show notes up because that would help. Show notes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, don't do an Ian as well, will you? So just showing notes up, Pete. So you can know what we're up to.
I've got them, but they look like they're about 4 weeks old.
As long as it says 31 on it.
It should
Yeah,
be
it
bits
does.
and pieces updated. What are we doing as the main one anyway?
Good question. I've got no idea. I don't know what this one in yellow is.
Oh, that's more of a like service and that. Basically, a game we're doing like a trade-in deal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, that should possibly be because that's pretty...
Yeah.
Have they got stock of it though? That's the problem.
Yeah, well, it's only for the Series S, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a bloody good deal, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why the link's not showing up though. Like, it's not working as a link. It's just sitting there.
Give me a sec, maybe.
Yeah.
When I click on that link, oh no, it's not working. It worked earlier.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Let me do...
I'll try and put it in again.
Copy. Oh, you fixing it? Yes, that's a link.
Yeah, no, it's not showing up as a link. Oh, there we go.
You got it?
Yeah. But yeah.
Cool.
Says yeah, it's only for the Series S, but it does mean that you can get it for almost, well, the cheapest one I think is 40 quid if you trade in a Switch.
Oh, really? I thought it was just
Yeah.
on the Series X. £100, isn't it? If you do this, not Series X. If you trade in the One X.
Yeah, because I thought about getting another one for the kids, trade in my old Xbox 500 gig one, but it's 130 quid. So it's still cheaper, but I don't know if it's worth the effort for that.
Yeah, it's slightly different, isn't it, when it's that amount of money?
Yeah. But I mean,
Taking his photo down. I don't want me smiling in the background.
it's either that or we can do the Sonic one.
Oh,
That's
no,
probably
it's-
that's the only other one I really know. I've really sort of read up on.
I think it's stuck.
It's too late anyway. We're live, so they've seen it.
We've seen it. It's up there now
Yeah.
in infamy.
I mean, to be fair, if you just put like something across the bottom, you would then just think it was almost like you just laying there going, "Hey,
Hey, babe."
babe.
Yeah.
Hey, gamers, I'm here."
Hey, gamers.
Right. Okay. Podcast. I have just
There we go.
tweeted it out myself. Even
Oh,
though
that
I
would be a
can't-
good idea. That'd be a good idea, really.
Right.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, another tweet. Oh, for feck's sake. My thumbs are getting bigger by the bloody minute. Right, done. Okay, I'm good to go. Are you good to go? Quarter
Okay,
past. Ah,
I'm ready. I'm ready when you are,
you're
sir.
ready. I've got to record this as well, mother.
Oh, do you want me to do it?
No.
Or was that?
Yeah. We'll see what happens to my PC if it blows up. How do you record? Is the... there we go. There's the button. Record. Record on this computer. Done. Awesome. Right. Okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay, I'm going to hit the intro. Everyone... Right, everyone, get ready. Scenes. Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern, episode 31st. I'm your host, Daniel, and joining me this week is Jamie.
Hello.
And new fill-in guest host, Mr. Pete the Man Kaninch. Say hello.
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 Thanks for having me.
Very well, thank you. How are you both on this fabulous bank holiday weekend?
Wonderful. A slightly sunburnt, but wonderful.
I wonder why that was.
Yeah. we ventured out into the pool earlier on, and then I got stuck talking to our good friend, what's his name? Oh, Kaninch.
Yeah.
For a few hours in the sun. So yeah, but otherwise all good.
Amazing, amazing. I'm glad you two had a chance to catch up.
First
Yes, it
time
was-
in a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a very nice random occurrence. Very nice to spend a couple of hours chatting with him in person for a change.
It was that random air quotes, random.
Well, it was
Oh,
sort of
yeah.
unscheduled, but it's good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it anyway.
Yeah, it was nice to see him. Anyway,
Excellent. Right. Moving swiftly on. I'd want to apologise for all those who are on, who listen to the podcast via Apple Podcasts. I believe there was an issue on Apple's front of downloading podcasts. So if you missed last week's episode, sorry. Make sure you head over to YouTube and watch episode 30. It was amazing. It was a quiz. It was
missed out on the quiz.
Possibly could have missed out on the quiz. So you need to go watch it. It was good fun. Lots of awkward silences, lots of very strange noises, and I didn't come last.
And a travesty of an ending.
And a travesty.
Go on. Say it was a very good listen for anyone. I listened to it myself live. It was very good, very good.
Yeah, very good. So we might be doing those every so often. So let us know. Drop some comments. Just let us know.
Yeah. I'll put up an article today on the site about it as well. So if you go over there, have a look, then watch the video, and then use something up in an Apple podcast.
What's the website called, Jay, if they want to find that?
Oh, something Xbox. I can't remember. You'll have to Google it.
Yeah. Or it'll be in the show notes, but xboxtavern.com for all your perfect review needs and whatever Jay decides to throw out there occasionally.
He's got the week up this week as well, so there's going to be loads of random shit going up.
Oh, excellent. And one last plug. We do have a Patreon site, so if you would like to throw us a couple of pounds, bucks, whatever's in your pocket, please head over to patreon.com/join/Xbox Tavern. There's lots of tiers. Do you know what? I'll even do a custom tier. You let me know what you want, and I'll make it. I'll make it happen. If you want nudes of Ian, we'll make that happen just for you.
Well, you've already seen his head, so you just need the rest of the body now.
We can just use that Photoshop, the stubbly head. Let's move.
Swiftly moving on, and we're going to get into this week's topic of the week, and it is a interesting one. It's not so much a topic, but if you go to Game, you can swap a console and get yourself an Xbox Series S for as little as potentially £40.
Bargain.
Jay, I'm going to let you take a little bit of this. You've actually looked into this, haven't you, for yourself?
Yes, I have considered it because I actually bought myself a Series S a little while ago. I don't think I've actually mentioned it on the show, but I did buy a Series S back in January for my traveling needs, and it's wonderful. It's very small, and it does what I need it to do. The hard drive didn't fill up too quickly, and I can fit a good amount of games on there, especially as I play a lot of smaller games.
Excellent.
It's just obviously it's not quite as powerful as the X, but
for a traveling box,
it's exactly for a traveling box in a hotel room. It works wonderful, and I even end up playing Resident Evil Village on my X and my S,
sort of like
bouncing back and forth between them, and it was excellent. I don't know if you heard of this game called Resident Evil. Anyway,
oh God, I'm not saying this again.
So, Game if you're in the UK, Game, everybody loves Game. They definitely don't rip anyone off and mug people off, but they are doing a good deal. So if you can trade in an assortment of older consoles, PS4 and Xbox consoles, and you can get a discount basically on Series S. So,
yeah, judging from the article that I've just pulled up, it says that you can get the way to get for £40 is you trade in your Nintendo Switch. So
yeah, I'm just looking at that. So yeah, if you trade in your Nintendo Switch, potentially you can get yourself an Xbox Series X for $39.99. Yeah, sorry, S. Yeah, which is not bad. I think the most expensive one, quickly looking at this, half the article is blocked.
So if you go for the original launch model Xbox One, the 500 gig one, whether it doesn't say whether it about Connect. I imagine they're not bothered about that, but that will cost $129.99 for a Series S, and then depending on the tiers you go up above. So if you got a 1S or 1X or a PS4 Pro or etc., different hard drive sizes, it gets cheaper and cheaper.
Yeah, I mean this is a really good deal. I mean, especially coming off the back of the what was it? The All Access deal. I mean, potentially, let's be blunt, the All Access deal is probably the better deal to go for. However, for £40 for a second console, is a bargain. I think this promo ends, doesn't it, the 14th of June, 2021.
So you haven't got much time to sort of get in there. But if you are thinking about picking up a Series S and you're like, well, I've played Breath of the Wild 100 times and I've kind of bored of it now. No, we don't get bored of Breath of the Wild. But B, if you really must, 40 quid for a Series S? You can't really argue, can you?
No.
I mean, Game have done these kind of deals over the years for a while. But it's the first one that's obviously been quite well received, because usually it's kind of, you have to trade an arm and a leg to get the new console. But it's pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, so let us know if you're going to jump in and take advantage of this deal. Tweet us at Xbox Tavern on Twitter, and it would be interesting to know how you got on, and also to see your sexy new Series S. So show that off.
Yeah, as you said, I was looking at this earlier on, thinking about trading my old original console for a Series S for the kids, because they love playing on it. But as I've already got one and an X, it's probably a bit greedy in it. So
You got enough, Jay.
yeah.
Especially as there are people out there that are desperate to pick up this new console as well.
Yeah. Although the Series S is being much more widely available, I think now.
Yeah.
So everywhere I look, it seems to be Series S in stock, in stock, and then Series X is like coming soon, or get in line, or
given that something like a 2-week window, you imagine the stock isn't that high. So I imagine if you want one, get one quick.
Yeah, definitely better get in there early.
Yes, and you can go in store as well, can't you? Which is always a good thing, right? We're going to jump on to the next news story, and this is from Tom Warren. As usual, he is a fountain of Xbox news as well as other gaming paraphernalia. Microsoft is turning its Surface Duo into a handheld Xbox today. The latest update for the Xbox Cloud gaming lets you use one screen for touch controls and the other for its game. Essentially, it turns it into a Nintendo DS. I'm looking at the tweet right now. He's managed to screen capture this, and it looks absolutely amazing. Have you guys got a Surface Duo at all?
Yeah, no.
Are these one of these amazing things that are like a unicorn? No one will ever have one of these devices.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a thing, to be honest, until I saw this.
That looks really smart. I like it.
It looks really good. So it literally does. As you would hold it like a Nintendo DS.
Oh, wow.
And then the top screen would be your gameplay. You do have like a thicker black border in and around, and then the part that you hold it just turns into like an Xbox controller, like you would have on the if you had the iPhone and you were trying to do the touch controls.
It's effectively, like I said, the touch controls just laid out so that it's not overlaid over the screen.
Yeah, so which gives you a kind of a fantastic gaming experience, because one, you're not missing half a screen because you've got your thumb over, the right-hand side of the screen or the left-hand side of the screen.
Does that fold out straight? I'm watching the video. It looks like it's got it at a 90-degree angle. Does it fold straight so you can?
Do you know what? I have no idea. Anything that folds worries the hell out of me on devices.
Yeah.
So, the Samsung, Z Flip or whatever it is, that worries the hell out of me.
I think it must do, because if you saw just before he started playing the game, he had it on the right-hand side of the screen. And then he put it in the center and it spread it across both screens. So I would imagine it would fold flat so that you effectively hold it in one hand as a tablet. But then when you want to play like this, you flick it back up again and hold it in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, more importantly, to have like a handheld DS style Xbox gaming device is really nice. It looks cool. Again, I'd love to speak to someone who's actually done this and played with it and tried it out, because it looks so cool.
Yeah, it does look very interesting.
Is that another tick in the box for Xbox Microsoft accessibility?
Exactly. Totally. No need for dedicated handhelds, although I'm sure that's probably a hell of a lot more expensive than a DS.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you've got your phone, you'd be fine anyway, wouldn't you? It'd be the cheaper option anyway, because you'd just have xCloud. Touch wood if you were invited. Yeah. Which would be lovely. But massive win.
It does look very interesting, especially considering how well the cloud gaming has worked on like, phones and stuff already.
Yeah.
We're having a device like that where you haven't got to carry a controller, you haven't got to carry one of their little clips.
Mm.
You haven't got to carry your backbone around.
I love my backbone. Leave my backbone alone. No, but you're totally right. To have it literally in your pocket, if you're carrying your Duo anyway, it is something that is, it just makes it easier. And you can see, I suppose it's put the wheels in motion that we already knew that they're trying to get gaming to everybody any way they can and trying to make it easier. And I can only see Game Pass subscriptions going up kind of tenfold.
Yeah.
The easier they make it, the better they kind of fine tune these controls, the more games they put in. This is gonna.
It opens up to a whole new demographic, doesn't it? You've got your people who travel on the train every day. Rather than look at their phone, they can just pick up one of these and game on the tube.
Yeah.
Totally. I'll be so much happier when they add in kind of the OS of your system, so you could potentially jump in and claim your rewards, or you could do those things that right now are probably on the bottom of the list. However, for someone like myself, I would love to, if I couldn't go downstairs and use my console, as I said, jump on my rewards, claim my rewards, do all those little extra things all in one app, and then they can slowly get rid of all these other apps that are absolutely pointless. We don't need 3 apps for your Xbox. You don't need one for your friends, one for your Game Pass, and one to cloud game. Everything should be under one.
Do you guys worry they're doing kind of like too much in a short space of time? Because they're doing this kind of everywhere, like phones and tablets. Do you think they got the resources to support all this in one go?
That's a good question, Jay.
I think if anyone has, it's them. They're not short of a few bob, but so far they've done pretty well. I think they've done a nice gradual rollout of Game Pass. Sorry, not Game Pass, cloud gaming. And they gradually added more and more titles to it. They gradually added more and more titles to Game Pass, and they seem to be more focused on. Whereas the Xbox One, they were like, famously like TV, and sports and everything.
I remember that.
Now they're like, well, actually, if we focus on the video game side of our video game company, it might be for the better. I think they're doing a pretty good job so far. But as you said, it could be that it gets to a point where we've got so many options that it might confuse things a little bit, like Dan said. Like if you've got just 3 different apps at the minute for different things, then you've also got, Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass PC, Game Pass Xbox, Gold. That they need to sort of condense that down a little bit, I think, maybe. But that will come, I imagine.
Then obviously you're only paying one price, I guess. So if you've got one price linked to your account, and I guess it's just whether you've got all these gadgets or not.
True.
Yeah,
true.
Totally. I think they're on the right course of that. You can see they're trying to push Game Pass to as many people as they can. So you can see that's their kind of focus, their vision, and they're trying to give us the ability to play Game Pass wherever. I think when they start dropping it on the TV as well, that's when we'll start seeing maybe a wobble, because they'll have so many devices or so many things that they need to keep going. That's maybe when they'll drop the ball. Touch wood, they don't.
Yeah, I imagine they'll probably roll it out. So, like, obviously they got a partnership with Samsung, pretty historically. So they'll probably work with them to start with, and then move on to Sony and LG and I don't know, whoever else makes TVs. Bosch.
I'd like to see how much money they lose. So I know they lose money when they sell consoles, and I think that's always been a given. And it's more predominant now because it's come through the whole Apple and Epic kind of court case. But I'd like to see, with the more devices or the more things they give us the ability to play xCloud on, how much is that affecting their profit or their console sales? Does that make sense?
Yeah, well,
so are they selling less?
You're removing the need for a console, aren't you? With all these different, things that you got on.
Totally. And okay, if the console's your biggest money loss maker, that's the bit you should eliminate. However, thinking as a gamer, you want the console to play the games. So it's
Yeah.
very.
Yeah. Even though they lose money on the console, they make more than enough back on the software, don't they, in the long run?
Well, yeah.
So although it's not good, obviously they're losing money on each one. They're still doing all right for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you got the age-old questions. Obviously, when digitals first came out, digital games were the same price as physical games, and everyone's like, "Hang on, but why are they the same price? Because digital, I'm only paying for the code rather than the box and that kind of thing." Yeah.
And it's gradually sort of evened out a bit, isn't it? I think they're still sort of roughly the same, but you tend to get, I think, better sales on digital now.
That's what I was going to say. You see more sales these days, don't you, for physical? Because obviously it's direct from Microsoft, whereas obviously a physical sale is usually down to the specific retailer that's having the sale.
Yeah.
Also, game. Also, we're getting lazier. I mean, we had a conversation a couple of podcasts ago. I think Ian was saying, was it Fallout? He couldn't be bothered to go upstairs to go get the disc. However, came into Game Pass, he played it.
Yeah.
It's the way we're tending to go now, isn't it?
And then you've got things like the Series S, where you can put a disc in if you wanted to. So and then
totally,
it's Pete, they're adding a lot, but I think they're doing it at a nice cadence so far. As long as they keep it going and they don't try and shove too many things out at once without sort of thinking about it. Like when they tried to do the gold price increase, they were like, gold increase, give us more money. And oh fuck, no, Control Z.
Yeah.
Scrap that. Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump into the next news story, and typically, unfortunately, Ross isn't here for this one. Bad for him, so we're not going to get a 3-hour tirade about Borderlands. But here
I hope
we
he's
go.
having a really terrible evening out with his friends.
I hope he spilled a drink down his top. Right. So this. Why not? This has come out from The Verge. So Borderlands 3 is getting cross-play support, but not on PlayStation. So the first paragraph reads, Borderlands 3 is set to get cross-play support soon, but not on Sony's PlayStation consoles. Gearbox, the developer of Borderlands 3, has revealed it was ready to enable full cross-play support across all platforms, but the publisher, 2K Games, required it to be removed for PlayStation consoles. I might as well read Randy Pitchford's bit as well. Gearbox
Does he talk about magic or ping pong balls?
He says he lost a memory stick in a No, sorry, right, hang on. Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford reveals the details in a Twitter post today, noting, "We have been required by the publisher to remove cross-play support for PlayStation consoles to pass certification. It is not immediately clear why 2K Games have asked Gearbox to remove PlayStation crossplay, or whether it's related to Sony's general disdain for crossplay. We've reached out to both Gearbox and 2K to comment on the situation." And as of recording today, Sunday, the 30th? 30th of May, there's been no update. I suppose, oh God, do I want to bash Sony? No, I don't. I guess the question is why? Oh God, I can't not bash Sony. Why do we think there's no crossplay? I mean,
it's
given,
odd, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, given that as gamers we want crossplay, cross save, cross progression, so it's all consumer friendly stuff.
Because
why has 2K decided?
Fortnite, weren't they?
Yeah, totally.
It took a long time. And is Rocket League now crossplay, Jay?
I think Rocket League might be now, because that was one of the few that was PlayStation and PC, but not Xbox. And then they also did that with a couple of other, like Portal 2 and a couple of other games in the past. But other than that, they're very resistant, obviously, to include Xbox and Switch and stuff in that. Which now that the sort of floodgates have opened, because I think Black Ops Cold War was, as is Modern Warfare, Warzone. I think that's full crossplay, and then, like you say, Fortnite, and there's a couple of other battle royales that I think are.
I think it's Apex one as well. Apex is now one as well.
Is it? I think that's coming. Is it? I don't know if it's out yet. Or not.
Well, I've played with PlayStation players.
Have you? Okay.
Whether
I haven't played Apex in ages.
It's whether it's No, it is PC. It's whether it's Switch as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. The less said about the Switch version, the better. But Yeah, they just still seem so resistant to it, even though it just makes sense. Like as we were just saying about Xbox sort of putting out all these services and adding games to Game Pass, blah 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 blah. They're sort of very gamer focused. They're like, we're doing. They're obviously a business and they want your money, but
Of
they're
course.
doing things that make sense. Well, why can't I play with my friends? Well, why can't you? Yes, let's enable that. Why can't I use what I've bought over here, over there? Well, yeah, why the hell not?
Yeah.
You do you. And Sony are like, well, actually, where we come from, fuck you.
Well, yeah. I mean, I suppose that it's a tiny bit bitter because Sony's tagline for quite a lot of the marketing is it
For the
place
players.
for the players
Yeah.
where it feels like it's not. I mean,
I
obviously,
think that. Sorry, good.
I was just going to say, I'm not 100. Obviously, we don't know the full reason. We don't know whether it's PlayStation. We don't know whether it's contractual obligation somewhere between 2K and someone else. We don't know the exact reasoning. However, most things normally point to Sony. But anyway, sorry, you continue on.
I think the for the players slogan is basically like an exclusive club for people, like for the players who play on PlayStation and no one else, because people who play on PlayStation are cool and the people who play elsewhere, boo, we don't want them
Because
getting
that was
their
the PS4 tag, wasn't it, when that first came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird that there's, especially seeing as someone like Nintendo are quite open to it as well, because they opened up. Obviously, they had the big that advert with Microsoft as well, where they literally advertised together. You could play, I think it was Rocket League and Fortnite and stuff together.
And then, obviously, when I worked for Nintendo, they were still very kind of, I want to use the word like prehistoric in their thinking and the way they go about things, and even the way it was all kind of like the Japanese way of doing things, and obviously when the UK Twitter people, they wanted to tweet out something out, they had to run it by the Japanese people first to make sure it was on brand. They couldn't have a personality. If you couldn't show the
It's a very
personality behind the person.
corporate. Yeah, very corporate.
And
Everything's
so
got to be boxed standard.
you wonder, with Sony obviously being a Japanese company as well, you wonder if that kind of thinking. But also pure speculation from my side as well. You have to wonder, are they worried about compatibility with each consoles? Because you think if they're playing crossplay, and all of a sudden you're seeing better play on Xbox, will that then look bad on Sony?
Yeah. I think it just comes down to them not wanting to play nice with anyone. And if me and you are playing, or all three of us playing Borderlands, and you're on PlayStation and I'm on Xbox, they don't want us playing together. They want me to buy a PlayStation to come and play with. Whereas Microsoft are like, well, as long as you're playing, who cares? Like, everybody join in.
Because didn't PlayStation? So I know it's like PlayStation again, but there was a couple of games where you can invite, even if your friend didn't have the game, you can invite them to play it or invite them to watch you play it. Was that a Last of Us thing?
There was a feature called Share Play, I think it was, where if you were playing a game, I could watch you and then I could take over control and to play sections for you.
That's good.
Which is good, but again, it was only if you're also on a PlayStation. You couldn't just do it from any device or anything like that.
Exactly,
Which is understandable because that is an exclusive to PlayStation, right? So
yeah, but then that sort of thing you'd think if you're watching on Twitch or something, and you could enable it through your browser or something. Yeah, obviously you'd have to have a controller plugged in, but there you go. You had to have a PlayStation console, but then they're just not interested in sharing with anyone.
No,
it seems.
I mean, it was quite interesting, Pete, when you mentioned about Nintendo. Nintendo do seem like they are very much, we are Nintendo, this is how we do anything. And they don't actually, it seems like, or it feels like, they're not fussed about their competition either side. Because
they played, when Wii U was out, they weren't really worried about what Sony and Microsoft were doing, because obviously they had their own demographic to aim for, the kids. It was, we're not going after players that play your Call of Duties, that play your FIFAs. They want the casual players that will play Animal Crossing, your Mario Kart, those kind of games.
But I mean, I would assume. I mean, I know Jay's got a Switch. I've got a Switch. I presume you've got a Switch as well.
I have, yeah.
Yeah. So Nintendo were very much like, well, that's our console. We're not fussed whether we don't need to steal X, Y, and Z console players, because predominantly they'll possibly buy a Switch because these are our games.
Yeah.
People are interested in them. Everyone's got an affinity for Mario or Zelda or Link, I should say. And that's the end of that, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo have just got a whole vast catalogue of just their own IPs, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got so many that have been neglected, your Star Foxes and your Metroids.
And F-Zero.
And I was about to say F-Zero for you, Jay. I mean, no, I mean, to be honest, Mario Kart 8 came out
7 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So 9.
7 years ago today, I believe. I saw a
Was
tweet
it
earlier on.
today? I'm pretty sure it came out in July. Was it July?
I'm sure I saw it. A thing earlier on saying it's 7 years today.
You two might be arguing over 3 days, so we'll leave it there.
And let me Google this.
Oh, he's going to Google it. Let's fill dead air.
Yeah, I've lost where we were going now. But Nintendo and Microsoft are like this. And Sony are over here playing with their own ball, going like, "I hate these guys.
Well,
Fuck you guys."
I do.
It's not even that.
It's just crazy, it's. I think now, with the fact that people have probably got more money to spend, regardless of what's happened in the world, you would like to think that you want to be the consumer-friendly person, because we all, the consumer-friendly person is the one who's going to win, and sometimes dirty, underhanded tactics are not going to get you very far in the long run. But
yeah, well, I think even say for example, Microsoft at the minute, they're obviously promoting crossplay and all that. As we say, constantly Game Pass, get all this stuff, and they're sort of like creeping back up in popularity, which they should do because what they're offering is awesome. But Sony are sort of realistically in sort of like the general consensus of gamers. Microsoft are here, and then Sony are like up here in terms of like market share and like mind share and stuff.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
If they even attempted to offer the same sort of stuff, they'd be up here, but they won't. They're like, well, we're up here already, so we're all good. And then they're gradually creeping up. But then they'll swap around and they'll be like, oh shit, what happened? Oh no, and then they'll be scrabbling to come back.
I think what you said there is right. I think also when you're top, I suppose it's very easy. This is the way we're doing it, and we can be tunnel focused on how we get there. And people in positions 1, 2, and 3. Bearing in mind, I think Nintendo are top, regardless. But in the console game, it's Microsoft is second, and they're trying to creep. It's easier to be second than it is to be first, isn't it? Because you have to constantly innovate to try and keep that lead, air quotes.
I think historically it's always been, you win the console generation, as it were, and then the next one you fucking sideswipe it massively, and you have to build up, and then you win the next one, and then you cock it up massively again. It's always the only one. I think the only company that's ever managed to maintain sort of like a lead, as it were, was Sony from PS1 to 2, and then they cocked it up with PS3, and then they brought it back with PS4.
Yeah.
And now they're sort of trying to keep it going again, but they're not doing a very good job at the moment. That's when
I switched, when I was waiting for the PS3 to come out. It didn't come out, and the 360 was out, and I was like, okay, well the next generation console's there, and I bought it with like 3 or 4 games, and that was it. I was done.
I'll say I don't know if Jay remembered this, but I had pre-ordered my PS3 for launch day, and Jay was working for Game at the time. And he made me buy a 360 the week before.
I was a very good game salesman.
Pete, wait here, buy a 360. Oh yeah, come on, I might as well. I've got a week to wait for PS3.
What's a week?
That was great.
What's a week?
That was great. I loved doing that work, especially doing the midnight launches.
It's good fun. Love the midnight launch.
Especially the GTA 5 launch, AJ.
No, we don't talk about that one. Cheeky bastards.
Right. Before we open those can of worms, let's move on to the next news story of Far Cry 6. It's here. We got released. Well, I say it's here. We've got the release date.
Almost.
The release date is here. So typical that I didn't pause this video when when I needed it. It is coming out on. Hang on a second. I'm waiting for this video to come.
October 7th.
Thank God, because the video replayed itself. So October 7th. Far Cry 6. Have you watched some of the other trailers that have dropped in the last couple of days? Like they go through the main character, is it Danny or and as she's going, as she's going through the missions, it looks amazing.
does look fun. I really like the Far Cry games. Ever since Far Cry 3,
October
I've been.
7th. Did you say that?
Did I? I'm sure I said October 7th.
Okay.
I don't know. It's been like 5 minutes. I don't know. I've forgotten. I really love the Far Cry games. Ever since the third one, I've played them all. I'm still working through New Dawn with Graham. But yeah, I really like their gameplay style, so I'm quite excited about this. I haven't actually watched too much of the trailers yet because I was trying to watch it earlier on, but the kids kept. Well, it's not really appropriate around kids, is it?
Not overly.
And I thought I had 10 minutes to spare because they were off playing, so I thought maybe I could just watch something. But then they come back in, and that was it. But yeah, what I have seen was very good stuff. I like the backpack thing. Seen the backpack thing, customizable backpacks.
Yeah, so that's the thing I was watching right now as I was trying to get the date. So customizable backpacks, you can turn it into like a rocket launcher and
Yeah. You see the clip when she like crouches down and then about 6 rockets shoot out of the back like a portable mortar.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that looks good. And then there was another one I saw that had like a flame tanks and stuff on it as well.
Yeah. You can have pets as well, I believe. You can have a pet crocodile or a pet.
Yep.
Was it dog?
Pet dog with 2 legs, it's got little wheels on the back.
Yeah. I mean, I've never gaming confession. I've never actually played a Far Cry properly.
Who invited him on it? Sorry.
I believe it was over a garden party, wasn't it?
Wait,
or something?
I was 10th in line. You had to settle for me at some point, didn't you?
I must have been delirious in the sun. It's too hot.
I did notice earlier they had to put out a tweet denying it was a political game, because
I just saw that story as well. Yeah.
Oh, look, it's got shooting in it. It must be political.
Yeah. Well, it's set in. Is it Cuba? Is that right, or somewhere in that sort of region?
Yeah, it was Mexico or Cuba. Yeah, it was something like that.
But yeah, it looks very good. Like I said, I really like the gameplay of Far Cry. I like going stealth, whereas when I'm playing co-op with Graham, he likes going balls to the wall action.
Hey, well, I think we all know Graham hates stealth.
So
don't we?
we were trying to approach some of the outposts on the last time we played, and I said to him, right, you wait here. Let me get at least a couple of them with my bow and arrow before you go charging in. And it was about 10 seconds till the alarms were going off. Things are exploding everywhere.
Well, he's already 40 miles
use
ahead.
him as a diversion. That's what you got to do. You use Graham as a you let him go off, create a diversion. You just
pick him off.
Yeah, but that is good fun. But the one thing I will say, in the trailer, they already give me strong Bean vibes from Far Cry New Dawn. Will not shut the fuck up. They just talked and talked and talked. I was like, just let me watch the gameplay. Just stop talking, please. But again, I know it's only the trailer, so that's the idea. But it looks good so far from the little I've seen.
So I take it, Jay, you're going to be picking this up.
Oh yes.
Pete, what about yourself? Are you saying you're a virgin?
Unlikely. I mean, I've got them to install because being Ian's game share partner, I imagine he's got loads, so I might get to them one day.
I highly recommend if you don't play any.
They look good. They look. It's one of those games that you want to play, and it's in the backlog. You just never really, because it's a big, long game. You never really get around to committing to it.
Do you know what? You can be on this podcast every week. This means I have got someone to side with me when I go, that game's far too long. And I won't get berated.
Like I said, I'd highly recommend 3 because they remastered it for the Xbox One. I think it's on sale at the minute, actually, I think, for a couple of quid.
I know 5.
It might be in the sale, I'm not sure. But regardless, next time you see it on sale, pick it up.
Are any of them on Game Pass?
No,
I don't think.
No. But should the rumours about Ubisoft, was it Ubisoft Connect or Ubisoft Play, whatever it is, if that ever comes to the service, they'll all be there.
Oh, so you're saying we're getting Far Cry 6 day and date on Game Pass?
Can you imagine? I'd be happy with that.
Would you pay more for your Game Pass subscription?
For more Far Cry.
Yeah.
Yes, Far Cry 6. Looking forward to it. Looks good.
Excellent. I think this might be a game I'm going to buy and not play because I do stupid things like that. Right, we are going to our last news story, folks. It seems like we're breezing through the news.
That's what happens when you haven't got people mocking you for not finishing games all the time.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Do you know what? We might make this just a 3-man show. Let us know in the comments below if this is what you like. Right, so Sega mentions Sonic Rangers in its own press release. And I'll be honest, I'm not going to read this because I know there's someone chomping at the bit to spew out Sonic
no.
stuff.
I was going to say, are you sure you want to talk about Sega with Jay here?
Oh, no.
I'll make it something. It's
I've
almost
got
like, oh, talk about Resident Evil.
I've got a funny feeling he's lost the link as well.
Yeah, one of our clicks and didn't work. Here we go. We're back. It's fine.
We're back. So
So,
Jay's going to take
There
us
was during Sonic's 30th anniversary live stream, which was on last Thursday, I believe. Sega teased a new Sonic game for the Sonic team due out at some point in 2022. They didn't give a name. It's just a little trailer, and it literally was like a CD trailer of Sonic running through a forest. They slowed down every now and then to watch his foot go, "Oof," and then he shot off. And then there was some weird little logo that popped up, and that was it. But in a press release they sent out to some people, they said, announce new console experiences, Sonic Colors Ultimate, which was also announced, and Sonic Rangers, and then blah, blah, extra bits about other stuff we don't care about. But then they resent it again later on, but they took out the part about Sonic Rangers. So that looks like that probably is the name for the new game. If it involves even remotely something to do with Burning Rangers, I'm in, obviously. You two don't know. Oh, my God. Where's Graham?
Sonic goes over my head, to be honest.
Graham, where are you? I need you. Burning Rangers.
The last Sonic game I played was Mario and Sonic at the Olympics.
Yeah. So yeah, it could very well be sort of like a spiritual successor to Sonic Adventure or something along those lines. But it's probably going to be, well, another fair to middling 3D Sonic game. But they did announce, as I said, Sonic Colors Ultimate. Pete, did you play Sonic Colors? Because that was on the Wii.
I don't believe I did.
No,
that wasn't a free game I got.
no. Dan?
Did you come on, Sonic, little blue man? No chance.
Oh fuck! Who invited both of you there? Let me just give it a one-man show. Anyway, yeah, I say that I've never played Sonic Colors actually. So let's just all quit. Right, we're all done. Thank you, everybody. Right.
P45s, gents. P45s.
Yeah, it's the only one I've never actually played because it was on the Wii. There was another couple of games before that which my wife actually really enjoyed, and I never really played them properly. But yeah, it just passed me by. So I'm quite excited to actually finally get to play it properly. It's the one that introduced the Wisps to the series.
So do you think these Sonic games then that are coming out, have they been slated to come out for consoles or just console?
Yeah. Consoles.
Okay.
I believe Sonic Colors Ultimate is confirmed for all of the consoles, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, blah blah blah.
Okay.
Sonic Rangers hasn't been given a format yet, because they haven't even officially announced the name or anything else like that. But yeah, and then there was also Sonic Origin Collection, I think it was called, which is, drumroll please, a collection of, you'll never get this.
Sonic games?
Are you sitting down?
Yep.
Yes.
It's a collection of Sonic 1, 2, 3,
okay.
CD.
CD? What, on a CD or?
No, Sonic CD.
Okay.
So that's a whopping 4 games and yet another Sonic collection.
I mean, you didn't say Sonic and Knuckles, so I'm out straight away.
I mean, that might have been on there as well. I might glance over it. But, I mean, this is probably about the 500th time they've re-released these games in a collection. Yeah. And usually it's accompanied by about 20 or 30 other Mega Drive games. So having literally 4 or 5 Sonic games in a collection, unless they're pulling out all the stops, is a little bit underwhelming, to be honest.
The thing is with Sonic, the side characters are actually better, aren't they? Like Tails and Knuckles are so much better.
Oh my God! Right? Oh, you can't do this. My old heart can't take this.
Jay squirming.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's. I'll be interested to see if they actually add anything worthwhile into that collection because I already own them games about 10 times each, and as I'm sure that any even remote Sonic fan does. So it's not the most exciting thing in the world.
I think knocking out re-releases of re-releases is not a way forward. Well, I guess it is a way forward for them, but
well, yeah, they clearly want to keep doing it because, you know, as I said, yeah, I've got the originals and I've got it on the Saturn, I've got it on the Xbox 360, DS. I think I bought them on 3DS, sorry, GameCube, PlayStation.
I take it they're not being up-resed or anything
No,
like that.
they're
It's
just- they're
literally
just-
ported over.
the ones they've had remastered or remade for years, and yeah. So unless they've got some serious extras they're pumping in there that they haven't told us about, it's a bit disappointing.
I don't think Graham would forgive me if I didn't also say that obviously you probably bought Ocarina of Time about 8 times as well.
Yeah, but that's not the point, Pete. What, we're talking.
Oh.
Yeah. So Sonic Colors Ultimate, excited to try that one at last. Sonic Origins, excited to play them for the millionth time. Because as much as I'm whinging, I will end up buying it. So
I'm just watching the trailer, and Sonic seems like a full-sized person in a mascot kit. That's got to be not the gameplay, right?
yeah, there was some weird things going on in there.
Yeah.
And then they also showed off some stuff like Roger Craig Smith is back voicing Sonic. He was voiced Sonic for I think the last 10 years, and then he got let go, and now they've brought him back to carry on voicing him.
Hang on a minute.
Which is good.
Sonic had a voice.
Yeah, it was the cheesy American cool dude type thing.
Oh God! Couldn't they? Have
And
just
then obviously, what's his name?
like
Ben
Marilyn.
Schwartz played him in the movie, and then I think they were probably trying to pivot more towards him, but then they saw how much he wanted, and they were like, "Actually, Roger, you want to come back and voice Sonic again? Yes, please."
I mean, you say that. I bet his voice is worth millions. Like when I working for Nintendo, I met was it Martin Marriott, the voice of Mario, and his voice was insured back then for over £1 million.
Yeah.
So
Insure your voice.
Sonic must be up there. Yeah, you insure your voice. So if it breaks, then I don't know how you get payout or whatever, but
Yeah.
I'm sure the Sonic guy did the same thing.
One day goes, "It's a me." Oh no, I fucked.
Oh no! I thought your voice only broke when you became a adult. Anyway, moving.
I'll let you know what happens.
Yes, please do. Please do. When those drop, let me know. Let's get straight into community questions because we'll talk about Sonic all day long. Right, this is a question.
Have you also heard of this game called Resident Evil? I don't know if
I
That's another
apologise,
game that goes
folks.
to the bottom of the pile.
Yes. Anyway, there will be some Resident Evil talk later. Right. So, from a good friend, Sweeney has mentioned or has asked us, are you guys getting involved in the May Gamerscore Challenge? For those that don't know, the May Gamerscore Challenge is a Xbox Rewards initiative. I think it's for 2 weeks. You need to hit 10,000 Gamerscore to achieve... I should have looked this up. Is it 5,000 Microsoft?
10,000.
Oh, 10,000.
And there's 2 days left as of recording.
Okay, so as of recording, you need to get that 10,000 to get 10,000 points, which equates to almost £10. So definitely worth doing if you can get 10,000 game score in 2 days. Pete, have you been hitting those sweet Chivos?
I'm on about, I think I'm just under 7,000. I've been
bad.
playing for the Mass Effect trilogy, which we'll get to a bit later. But I also picked up this game called 50
Language you
Years,
love?
which-
Oh, okay.
already done that. 1,000 G that already. Yeah, it's a game called 50 Years, which you can get 3,000 gamer score in about under an hour.
Okay.
And it's a pretty decent game as well, to be fair. I told Jamie about it. So yeah.
Oh,
So yeah,
nice.
but
I've been.
I've been meaning to try and use that one because I'm lacking fast behind on the
Yeah.
points.
Yeah. So I don't usually do it, but I'm like, yeah, I might as well. I've already
mean,
got
for-
like 2,000 because of this.
£10. It's nothing to be sniffed at, is it? To
Exactly. I mean, I had about 35,000 points before I redeemed them for Mass Effect, and now I'm back up to about 20 odd because these scores and that. So
nice.
yeah.
Nice. I hope you used one of the videos on Xbox Tavern's YouTube channel.
I did. Watched it and liked it.
Excellent. Good man. Good man. Your check is in the post.
Brilliant.
It's for 5,000 reward points.
Yeah.
Jay, what about yourself? How are you getting on the maze?
You know me and achievements. I love them. Can't get enough of them.
So are you saying Ian hasn't logged into your account and helped you out?
No, I've been meaning to ask him to. Yeah, I think I checked earlier on. I'm about 1,800, so very short of the full 10,000.
Yeah.
But the problem was I used Keninch's account here to play a game a little while ago. Got the full 1,000 G in about 20 minutes. And then the next day, I think it was, they popped up with a challenge. I was like, no, I wasted it.
Always the way, isn't it?
I mean, you can normally guarantee January time they always hit this Gamer Score challenge, don't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, this one hit me out the blue when I saw it pop up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so yeah, I know.
I managed to get the 10,000 in January.
Oh, nice.
A bit of help for me, because he recommended a few games that you can complete quickly with easy gamer scores.
Yes.
Games like Reactor X, another game that you can complete in about an hour for another 3,000 gamer score.
Jesus.
So yeah, I know.
Not bad.
Amazing. So I mean, if you haven't even played Reactor X or 50 years, that's 6,000 gamer score, 6,000 points in about 2 hours. So and it's free money. Do it.
Do it.
Get it.
Get on it.
I myself have not bothered with it. I haven't even started the punch card because I knew I wasn't getting 10,000 inside 2 weeks. It's not going to happen. So yeah, I'm not that hardcore. So yeah, unfortunately, that's a no from me, Sweeney. Pete, you've got the Google Doc open, haven't you? Because you can ask your question.
So I thought I'd change it up because you know me, I like a question, and I thought let's do a non-gaming question, shall we? So I went with what do you prefer on your sausage, red or brown sauce?
Jay, how do you like your sausage?
Long and warm, preferably, and covered in brown. Hang on, that's not right, is it?
Well, it depends where. Yeah, so you like the brown sauce, do you?
I do like a bit of brown, preferably hot sauce, to be honest. But brown sauce, out of the two.
Yeah. Pete, what about yourself? How do you like your sausage?
9 times out of 10, I'm definitely a brown man. But ketchup goes well with sausage and mash.
Okay.
But everything else, like if you're having it with like a breakfast or like a bap or baguette or whatever, then brown sauce is the way to go.
Excellent. I myself, I would more skew to a brown sauce. I'm not a big ketchup fan. However, I have been known to dabble in a bit of barbecue sauce. That's the way forward.
Yeah, we'll say brown sauce, barbecue sauce, brown sauce.
Yeah, I'll go with either. It's not red. And
to be honest, any sauce on my sausages is nice. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'll take wherever it's coming.
Well, I was going to say, then you get married, and then normally your sausages are left dry. So let's move on from there. I apologise if you listen to this in the car, but it is explicit. It always is.
Daddy, what are they talking about?
Exactly.
To be fair, when I thought of that question, it wasn't. I was like, that's not an innuendo. I'll just ask that. And now I'm like, yeah.
Oh, totally. You totally sold us up the river with this question. So we last week we missed our video game challenge for 30 days, air quotes. We've turned it into 30 weeks. We answer a question. This week is day 12, and the question is a game everyone should play. I love the fact that people who are not on the show have put their bloody answer in the Google Doc. I'm not going to read them out. Sod 'em. Pete, what is the game that you would suggest people to play?
While I'm here, do you want me to do days 1 through to 12? It's okay. I'll spare you, don't worry.
I saw Dan's face. Yeah.
I was looking at beer, it's empty.
We'll make that a special episode.
Yeah, but being that I'm a keen listener of the podcast, and I know that obviously you say, what's one game you should play? I have made 3 because that's what we do on this podcast, right?
Of course.
Do you know what? You're going to fit in just right around here. So
the first game I'll recommend is it's the PS3 game, and it's probably not one many people have heard of, but it's called Folklore. It's I can't even describe what it is, but it's just a really amazing game. Second one, Metal Gear Solid 3, probably the best Metal Gear, especially for the soundtrack, the Snake Eater soundtrack, very James Bond-esque. Thank you, Jay. I was waiting for that. And the last one is Dante's Inferno, which it was one of those games that I think it was back then when you used to rent games That was lovefilm.com or whatever it was.
Oh, I love
And
film.
that's how I got into Dragon Age. I just rented it. Oh, this is good. I rented a game called Dante's Inferno, and I just loved it. And it's not a game I usually play, but I loved it. And it's actually on Game Pass through EA Play. So if anyone wants to play Dante's Inferno, it's ready to go play right now.
Is that like a not Far Cry, Devil May Cry-esque?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I just loved it. I played it for on normal, and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to play it for it on hard. I loved it that much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's
to
not
love it.
working
That-
through the 7 circles
That was
of
back in
hell.
the day when I had time to play games. So, I could actually afford to do 2 playthroughs.
God, those were the days. Those were the days. Jay, what's your top tip? Well, not even your top tip. What's a game that everyone should play?
A tip of the sausage.
Well, I mean, we talked about Snake. We've talked about Sausage.
It's more less of a game and more of an experience.
Oh, love an experience. Sausage experience. Tell me about it.
So on the original Xbox, there was a game called Steel Battalion, which is like a mech game. So you pilot a mech and you've got to shoot, sort of like an arena combat type thing. The
Can
game
you do that
itself,
motion again? Just so the people on YouTube can see. Oh,
Just like
well,
that.
I just saw this.
I tell you what, I'll do you one better.
Oh, Jesus. You're getting it.
I'll get
Oh
the
my
controller
God.
out for it.
Christ
Jesus
almighty.
So-
For those of you
Is that what
listening,
you actually use for it?
Jay's
this-
knocked out the actual control system for Steel Battalion.
This here is the controller. I'll try and get it in the light a little bit. So the reason I recommend it is, again, the game itself was all right. It was really hard. I only got to the 2nd or 3rd level and I kept dying all the time. But this controller here, as well as full foot pedals, so you end up with 3 foot pedals, forward go and a clutch as well, and a brake. And all of these buttons do individual things. So there's one here for the fire extinguisher when you inevitably get set on fire. There's one here to do your windscreen wipers. There's one here which does your select your modes. It says map zoom in and out.
You can
This
turn it the
starts-
other way so you can
So-
read it properly.
No,
So what you're trying
okay.
to say is this game's good for people who can't complete games easily.
yes.
Okay.
So you have to, in order to start the mech up, if I remember rightly, you have to press this button, press the clutch, then press this button, and then you're off to go. There's gears. There's 2 whacking great joysticks, each with buttons on them as well, and an analog stick. Gears over here, 1 through
Jesus.
5. Little things to turn on fuel rate and etc. Oh, there's so much detail in this
So
controller.
did that peripheral come with the game, or was that extra?
This you need this to play the game. You can't play it without it.
That's not the question, though. Did you have to buy that separately?
Well, let me just show you the eject button.
And how much did it cost?
Yeah.
You see that? So when you in the game, when you die, if you don't flick that little thing up, press that eject button in time, you lose all of your save progress. And you have to start from the beginning.
Oh, Jesus.
Whereas if you do
Wow.
eject, you at least start from that mission you got to. But obviously you then have to flick that up, press that. Anyway, so I wanted to get this on launch day, but I never did because I was an idiot. So I ended up buying it second hand off a weird guy I used to know. And he, to be fair, he did only charge me about 150 quid. But I think when it was new, I think it was about 80 quid, something like that. Maybe a little bit more than that, maybe 100 quid.
So you paid double the
Jesus.
price.
Yeah.
Did you
But-
share a sausage sandwich with him?
See, my delayed response has put me in a bad light there because
Totally.
no, but
You
there's
should
many
have.
stories. Unfortunately, there are many horrible stories I could tell, but I
Oh,
won't.
gee,
tell
yeah, not on this
because-
podcast.
because not about me. But anyway, we'll get off that. But anyway, the whole point of this is the game itself is good, but if you ever get a chance to try this controller, I highly recommend it because it is incredibly
Is
good
it
fun.
Is it good quality made? Because it looks kind of flimsy plastic.
Oh no, yeah, it's brilliant. I've had
from
this
video.
obviously about 20 years, I guess now, probably a little bit less. But yeah, no, it still holds up, still works. I think I last played this
So give it a good.
early last year. Give it a good wiggle like that.
So,
See?
for those of you listening, definitely Google Steel Battalion peripheral or controller. The thing is like it's almost like two keyboards stuck together with a controller. There was at least 20 buttons I saw. The eject button looked
if
awesome.
I remember
to
rightly,
be
there's
fair.
something like 56 buttons on it.
Okay, well,
It made me think of the Street Fighter. Obviously, people buy the Pacific Street Fighter thing, don't
yeah.
they? For that. And that's got to be at least twice as big.
Yeah, it's about maybe about 3 foot wide,
Christ.
and then you've got the 3 sort of separate console parts of it.
Yeah.
And there's, like I said, each button has its own individual function. Some of them you only press once per round, and some of them you have to sort of flick between. Like there's a night vision one, and there's one to zoom in and out, and one to change the function of the button that does the night vision, so it will change to something else.
Oh, Christ.
There's so much to. It's one you really need to sit down and learn.
It looked good
But-
if you played it with Titanfall.
Yeah. I mean, they did a Connect version of Steel Battalion, which was utter guff. So don't even remotely touch that
That's
one.
the one I googled it, and that's the first thing that came up. Steel Battalion
Yeah.
on Connect.
But yeah, if you ever get a chance to play with the original Xbox version, you got that and you got the foot pedals. It's tough, but it's good fun, and it's an experience, like an old hardcore arcade style.
Tell you what, just spam Phil Spencer on Twitter and ask him to add it to backwards compatibility.
Yeah, if they could release a dongle so I can plug into my Series X and then just get that out backwards compatibility, I'll be away.
Cool.
As
So
it is, you need like a fucking. I used to have
you can live stream it, just sitting there like.
I used to have a painting table, you know, like the wallpaper table.
Yeah.
You put the wallpaper on
Yes.
paste. I used to have one of them in my
pasting
room.
board.
Yeah, pasting board. Set up in my room next to my bed. So I had that on top of it and the pedals underneath and my little 14-inch TV on the other side. I was playing away. Oh, I loved it. Again, I was terrible at it, but yeah, highly recommended.
All right.
Sorry, I went on for a bit there, but
No, it's fine. I'm just counting the innuendos. Anyway, so my game is Titanfall. You need to play Titanfall. I would imagine everyone's played it by now, but if you haven't, there's something wrong with you. If you're on Game Pass, it's
I was going to say.
you're having a laugh.
I tend to stay away from first-person shooters because I'm not very good at them. I did download Titanfall 2 last week, but
Yep.
I have since uninstalled it again. So
For the space, or just because it worried you? You saw Jay's
because I was
massive
like,
stick.
just 'cause I just figured I'd never get around to it.
Oh, dude, you need to play it. Titanfall is an amazing game. It's when you first see the loading screens of you jumping into the Titan, that is just pure joy. So yeah, just even if you play one level, just do it, please. It is definitely worth.
You need to.
Can you still play one? Because obviously one was mostly online, wasn't it?
Yeah, that I'm not 100% sure. But if you're
I
saying,
think there's a very small community, but yeah, if you play now, you're probably just going to get people who are cheating and using bots
Every
and
day.
stuff.
yeah, well, you're probably better off with two. Sorry, anyway, because of the single player campaign and everything else that goes with it. So yes, those are our games. For Ian, Ross, who have put their names down, Sodom, tough. Moving on to
I think Ian said Gears of War, didn't he?
yeah, Ian said
It
Gears
wouldn't
of War,
surprise me.
and Ross said Language of Love. Right, so this month's Game Pass project Game Pass is Rainbow Six Siege. I don't think we'll probably get enough time to play another game of it. This was probably our last month. And I meant to say this before we started the show. Do we give it... Are we saying, yes, it's a thumbs up, you should go play it? Or do we give a rating? How? I've forgotten how we do this.
We've kind of gotten the perfect guest here because although he didn't play with us this month, Kaninch was one of the crew that we played with for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to
So-
say, are we allowed to say the word that we got when we killed all 5 operators on the opposite team?
Yeah. Well, we nearly got one when we played last
Oh
week.
yeah, because I got a couple of boners back in the day, didn't I, playing that game?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Should we have some context?
I think Ian got a boner, and then I got 4. I nearly got a boner in one round, but
I remember getting a boner with
What, with
Capcom.
Ian?
yeah, Capcom. Yeah.
Like my first ever boner was with Capcom.
Oh, Jesus H.
Who even came up with that name? Was it like Ian or Jake or Graham?
I
Probably
think it
Graham.
was
no,
Jake,
Graham.
wasn't it?
Where is it, Jake?
I think it was
Yeah,
Jake.
I used to love Siege back in the day. Well, actually, I first fell in with Rainbow Six on the on the original Xbox, wasn't it? We played Rainbow
Yeah, me and you played Rainbow Six 3. Yeah.
I feel like, because I used to work for McDonald's back then, and I used to have to get up at 5 a.m. I used to play Rainbow Six until about 4:30, have half an hour nap, and go leave for work.
Nice.
But yeah, the Siege, I haven't played it obviously for a few months, probably over a year maybe. We used to love it back then. With my Habana, no. I saw you do that last week, Jay. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I my main was Habana, and defense was Valkyrie, because I was quite good at getting her cameras up and hiding them in places that the operators couldn't see.
Nice.
Yeah. And how were you feeling on it, Dan? Did you enjoy our time with it?
So I don't like the fact that the time to kill is very quick. Obviously, if I'm killing that person, it's awesome. I don't mind. But for me, getting killed that quickly, most of the time, I mean, I was normally first out anyway. It's a shock, isn't it? And it feels like a long wait. However, take a step back. If you play the game more, you get better at the game. You know what you're calling. You know how to call. And that's the bit that I guess I struggle with. I prefer games that have a little bit longer of, time to kill.
This may sound strange, but maybe you're like me, Dan, was I was a better teammate dead than alive, because when you died, you could then focus on the cameras and you could tell everybody where they were and you could give them some backup advice, Ideally, that was my strength.
Ideally, yes, but because I don't know the buttons, I don't play it enough. Like, people were saying, oh yeah, go here. And I'm like, well, how do you do that? So when you first die, you don't get into the first person mode, do you? You can't see what everyone else is doing. You've just you're designated on a camera.
You're straight to the cameras,
Yeah, I don't like that. And whether it was through my own stupidity, there was no obvious kind of press this button. So I think it was, is it press up and then you can start rotating through your
something
people.
Like that. Yeah, press something on D-pad.
Yeah, and I don't think it was. It came up and slapped me in the face, which is through my own stupidity or what.
Did you figure out to throw grenades though?
Pass? I'm laughing. I can't think now. I'm like, can you throw grenades? How do you throw grenades?
Someone had to get digging about something about grenades and the again.
I thought you were referencing Division 2 there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally. I don't think I threw a grenade. I didn't know how to use half my bloody equipment. Yeah. But again, that's all through.
I think that was a problem. When we played was it Wednesday before, week before last.
Yeah.
Because you weren't familiar with the operators. Some of them have grenades, some of them don't. Some of them have extra weapons, some of them have shields, etc. And it takes a while to get used to what each operator does. Yeah. Totally. Whereas, obviously, like I said, myself and Pete and Graham and Ian, and by the sounds of it, Ross have played quite a lot of it. So we had our favourites and we knew what each one did. Even though some of them have changed through updates, we still sort of got the gist of the general how to use them.
I think we stopped playing when they did that first the map refresh, didn't they? And
it was not long after that.
It's like, do we really want to learn the maps all over again? Yeah.
It's I do say it's so much better. Obviously, playing alone, I'd never do that. But playing with a group of you is it's definitely more fun. I mean, before it was Project Game Pass, I think I played with yourself, Graham, and I think Ian. We had a couple of goes on it, and it's enjoyable when you play with friends, which is like most games. Everything's enjoyable when you're playing with mates, and there's no. You don't care is the wrong word, but you're having a laugh within your group of friends.
Yeah. It's more about the having fun with your mates than winning, as it were.
Totally.
Even if Ian might like to win a lot.
Jay, you should have taken him in a terrorist mode and straight in the suicide bomber.
We didn't do any terrorist hunt, did we?
See, that's the way to get into the game. There's an online mode where you can play against the AI.
Okay.
And you hunt down like 30 odd terrorists, and you got to eliminate them all. And I think in every round there's 2 or 3 suicide bombers that will literally run straight at you, and the only way to kill them is with a headshot.
Yeah, cause they're really, really hard to kill.
Yeah.
And they normally sneak up on you because they jump through the window, and you hear the boop, 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 boop,
and Jay was always the first to get killed. Always went for Jay
every fucking time. Every fucking time.
The noise just haunted him.
That's amazing.
And they'd chase you as well, because the occasional time I'd be able to run away, I'd just be like, as they're getting closer.
Exactly. The normal AI just stay there and hunker down, but suicide bombers, no, they'll chase you around the whole bloody map until they explode.
Someone shoot him!
I'm like, Pete, shoot him!
No, that sounds amazing. We should have done that. That
Yeah.
definitely does sound like a
Well,
laugh.
we've still got another couple of days. Let's do it tonight after the podcast.
Yeah.
Do you not know my wife?
What
We'll
about
see if
tomorrow?
she's asleep.
No, I don't. You
We
should
could listen
introduce me.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk offline. We'll talk offline, gentlemen.
But overall, thumbs up from me.
Thumbs up from you. And can
I
you
enjoyed it.
sound of it? You're a big thumbs up.
I think the UI's changed a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah,
from
quite a lot, yeah.
when we used to play it. But I think generally, it's the only FPS game I like, so it gets a thumbs up from me, especially when you're playing with friends.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're playing with a group of mates. It is very forgiving. You need to know what you're doing, like peeking around corners and kind of understanding the angle to kind of go through a door. If you go through like normal FPSs, you get battered even before you step through that threshold. But yeah, play with mates, definitely worth a play. So it is a thumbs up for myself as well, and I'm sure the rest of the team, even though they're not here, they would say yes. Make sure you play it.
Sorry to take it back again, but Jay, were people still doing the camp? When you start a round, were people still literally killing you straight away? when they get to the right window and
Yeah. There was one round that we did on the airplane one. I can't remember the exact name of it. Where we got the ramps going up to the cockpit and stuff. They come charging at the door. They come down the ramp. We were trying to fight them off, and we got a couple of them. And there was one that come right down to the ground, and he ran behind the fire engine that's there. Graham was trying to kill him, and I was trying to help Graham. And then in my efforts to help him, I shot Graham in the back of the head. But if you watched the replay, it wasn't even like it was an intentional, like calculated shot. I'm just like I just happened to hit Graham out of the two of them. But yeah, there was still quite a lot of that, especially when they were losing. If it was 2-1 or something, 2-0 or something, they just charge out all the time, which is annoying. But I guess
I'm impressed by the longevity of the game, because obviously it's still a major esports thing, isn't it? And you have these teams that go around it. So
the way they've updated it is amazing. I mean, that game's every year it's getting a big overhaul.
It shows really you don't really need years on years of Call of Duty. Just copy this, formula, and obviously you probably can't copy it, like for like. But
well, I think it helps because it's such a slower game as well. Whereas Call of Duty is constantly fast-paced, and every year it's different, like action and stuff. This is just very deliberate,
twitchy,
very, sort of set. You know your favorite operators. They might tweak them here and there, but they sort of stay the same mostly. And then the maps might change ever so slightly, but generally you've just got years and years of experience playing on the same levels, playing with the same operators, and honing your skill rather than worrying about leveling up or perking your character out.
And the characters aren't even locked behind a paywall that you can actually, play to earn them. I mean, it's a bit of a grind, but you don't have, you can actually get there, buy them out without having to pay real money.
Without having to buy the season pass each time,
Yeah, because I think when you buy the base game now, I think they include seasons 1, 2, maybe 3. So you already get.
I think so, yeah.
Operators,
as well as
which is something I should look into because I still haven't got half the season 2 operators as it is. Despite how long I played it. But yeah, so thumbs up all round. Are we going to be bold and pick a new game, or are we going to wait for them to come back?
We'll wait for them, but I believe they've already decided what they want to. Oh, Sodom! Yeah, let's go. You announced the game for next month, so June.
I'm taking executive decision as chief Game Pass operator, person of things of importance, and I've decided we are going to play Knockout City because I have been spending the last week or so playing that game most nights, and it is bloody brilliant.
Well, let's segue into what we're playing, and you continue on with Knockout City. Tell me.
Knockout City is bloody brilliant.
Tell us
it's such good fun. It's a dodgeball game basically. So there's a couple of different modes. There's 3-on-3, there's a 4-on-4, and then there's a couple of different ones, sort of with the same team limits but different rule sets.
Right.
And it's just fun. It reminds me in a way of something like Rocket League, but the rounds are short. You can get through a game in maybe 10-15 minutes. And at the minute, although I'm playing with random so far, everybody seems to stick together pretty well. So you start in the arena, you have to run, and the dodgeballs themselves are placed around the arena at set points, and some of them are special ones. Like there's one that locks the other player into a ball of their own, or there's one that I think it slows them down or something. I haven't explored all of them fully yet, but when you pick up the dodgeball, you run around, you find the enemies, and you have to hold the trigger. You can either fire the ball straight away, you can hold it down for a stronger shot. But once you lock onto someone, they get a cursor around their screen showing them where someone's attacking them from, so they can then turn around and get ready to catch the ball. If they catch it, then the ball's theirs, and then they can throw it back at you, and then you have to try and catch it, and so on and so forth. And it gets quite hectic if there's one player versus two. They both throw a ball at you once. You've got to try and catch both, or you can try and catch one, lob it back, and catch the other one, and lob it back, or you can dodge out the way. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. And even when I got my arse handed to me in a few rounds, it was still enjoyable. And
what's
then
the graphics like? Am I right in thinking it's a bit cartoony?
It's probably a bit cliche to say, but it's almost like Fortnite-esque.
Yeah.
In a way, it's very over stylized.
Right.
But you can customize your characters so that they can look almost like how you want. You can't it doesn't go down to like eyebrow shape or anything like that, but you choose from a very different faces and hairstyles and clothes and stuff.
Right.
And there is a store where you can buy different bits as well, which you can use in-game currency, but I think they want you to pay for it because they've given the game away for free on EA Play and Game Pass.
So they're going for that Fortnite-esque model of, well, not seasons necessarily, but
yeah, I don't think there's a season pass, as it were, but at the minute the item shop rotates. Yeah, but just the gameplay itself, it's just a lot of fun. It works. It works well. It's, as I said, if you get a good team, the games can be quite tense because the more you throw the ball back and forth, I think the faster it gets. So if I catch it and throw it back, then you catch it, then you can throw it back faster, and then I catch it, throw it back faster.
Okay.
And you can also turn into a ball yourself. So if you curl up into a ball, someone picks you up. Each player has 2 hit points. If they throw you, it takes both hit points out in one. Okay. Whereas if you throw the dodgeball, it takes 1 hit point. But you can also charge up the attack so that each player has their own special ability. So I think the one I've got at the minute is a bomb. So if someone picks me up and charges it up, they can lob me up in the air and I'll come back down and make a massive area of effect attack.
Okay.
So I'll blow up possibly the entire team in 1 hit and take them all out. Or again, if you throw the thing where it locks the opponents into a ball, you can pick them up and throw them off the level.
Right.
And then you get a point for killing them that way. And then it's just a lot of fun. It's really good. I'm very much enjoying it.
Nice. It does sound interesting and a lot of fun, especially with the different ways that you can take people out. I did see a tweet, I don't know who from, but they kind of showed a picture of the controller, and it was LB or RB, and they were like, "This catches the ball. You can catch the ball and throw it back."
Yeah, every ball that's thrown at you can catch.
Yeah,
but if you mistime it, if you try to catch and there's not a ball coming at you, you're sort of frozen for a second.
Okay.
So someone can sort of fake throw at it. You try to catch it, and then they'll actually throw it, and you can't do anything about it. But again, they could also throw it once you sort of see an enemy, you lock on, so you can throw it from literally the other side of the map. And if you do the slow throw, it won't alert them that you're targeting them.
Okay, so like
because they won't have time to get the cursor up saying you're being attacked from this way. So you can sort of sneak it a couple of times. So you throw it slowly and you can run around as trying to distract them with something. Then they'll be like, oh, there's a player there. And then ball comes smack on the back of the head.
Nice. This sounds like a lot of fun.
I can see it being quite in depth. And I think it'd be quite a good esports thing eventually. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. So, but again, I'd rather play it with some people I know.
How many players per team? Can you get all 5 in one team?
You can have, at the minute, there's 2 modes. There's 3v3 and 4v4. And there's a couple of different modes like capturing the diamonds and one where you can only throw other players. You don't get any dodgeballs at all.
So can you arrange like a friends 3-on-3?
Yeah, you can have private matches.
Okay.
I haven't actually looked into it because I haven't had a chance to play anybody anymore, but I imagine it's 3v or 4v4.
So that's your homework, to make sure you can get at least all 5 of us in, and then we need to add add a sixth, which I'm looking at you, Pete.
Okay, maybe.
Good.
Well, I'm busy
Oh.
Wednesdays night now, aren't I? So,
Oh, you went? Oh, dude.
yeah, sorry. I got a league to run.
Yeah, I'm sure we can figure something out. But yeah, regardless, no
Dodgeball
matter
league.
who we get in there, it is such good fun. It
Saturdays.
surprised me because I didn't really know anything about it before it came out. It was obviously on Game Pass. Well, I'll give it a go. And every day this week, I'll just have a couple of rounds quickly.
To be fair, I don't think it launched with a massive. I don't want to say it's stealth launched. I saw a few kind of videos about it, but there wasn't a massive hype train about it. So be
No,
interesting to play.
it was announced ages ago with it, and everyone was like, it looks all right.
Yeah.
And it could have come out. And I was like, it's out. Let's have a go. And actually, it's almost surpassed my usual go-to of Rocket League and Fortnite and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yes, very enjoyable. So I can't wait to play it with you.
Cool. Have you been throwing anything else in your box?
Well, other than my brown sausage, I have been playing. What else have I been? Oh, Evil Within 2. More horror games. It's very, very quickly because I'm not very far in it. I'm only on chapter 3, I think. But it is very good. I really enjoyed the first Evil Within because it was properly fucked up. Like a lot of psychological horror and imagery and stuff. And this one seems to, because it's by the original creator of Resident Evil, Shinji Mikami.
Yeah.
And he seems to have taken Resident Evil's cadence of going horror and the sequel, action. No, shit. It was a horror game. It's still very scary. Probably, I'd say so far scarier than anything in Village.
Yeah.
Other than that one section, which we won't talk about.
Okay.
But it's very good. Very good. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Nice.
It's really hard. And well, I think I put on Nightmare difficulty, which probably would explain it.
Kind of.
But it's good.
It's
not on Game Pass yet.
No.
It's not on Game Pass yet. No, I bought it ages ago. And I finally got round to actually starting.
Yeah, I know. Evil Within
good.
1 is in there. Is in Game
Yeah, I
Pass.
was
gonna
say, yeah.
I
The
checked
one's
that
in there.
out.
The original's well worth playing. But yeah, I'm enjoying the sequel so far. It's just I'm sort of slowly working my way through it because I'm trying to do as much as I possibly can before moving on to the next area,
Okay.
rather than just racing through it. Because there's lots of little side objectives and things to find. But yeah, that's good. I'm enjoying it so far.
Excellent. Oh, good. I'll be looking forward for you updating me, and I might be able to play it once I finish Village. Pete, what have you been throwing in your box?
To be honest, I've been playing the same 2 games the last 2 weeks, so pretty easy for me.
2 weeks or 2 years, you say?
Well, 10 years if you count the previous ones. But so I've been playing pretty much Mass Effect Legendary Edition non-stop. I've already done a playthrough of 1, 2, and 3.
Oh Jesus! It's only been
I
out
know
a
it
month.
sounds like it's been like 2 weeks, I think.
Oh, 2 weeks.
Yeah, but when you like me, I do like one playthrough every year. So when you've played a game and you know all the scenes and you know what you're doing, it's easy just to knock out a game that will take you 30 hours for your first playthrough. I can knock out in 15, 20 hours quite easily.
Okay.
And last night I completed my second run of Mass Effect 1 on Insanity mode. I've got 3 achievements left to unlock. Not that I'm going for them, but they were so easy. I just did them on the way.
Okay.
So I think there's like 2,815, some kind of like odd number. I'm free from the end. I've just got to complete 2 and 3 on Insanity, and upgrade a weapon to level 10 on number 3, and I've completed the game.
Cool.
Other than that, Formula 1. I know Graham's said on here loads of times that he loves racing games.
Especially hardcore sims like that.
Especially F1 games where you do the same track 35 laps and you do it over and over.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tuesday night I commentate because I run a league, and Tuesday night I commentate, Wednesday night I race, and then Thursday night I'm in another league.
Okay.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, my evening's always taken up with F1.
Where can I watch these races?
Yeah. Well, you got to watch the Monza race because I did well. So
What's the Twitch?
it's I don't know if I have to plug my own channel here, but
No,
Yeah,
of
go
course you
on.
can. Of course you can.
well, we're actually just applied for affiliate now because we're over 50 followers. We've done all the things. But it's 7th Gear Racing, both on Twitch and YouTube. So go check it out if you're interested in Formula One games or racing games in general. Obviously, we're coming to the end of the life cycle of this F1 2020 game. The new game's coming out early July, F1 21. Hopefully, we'll get a review code for that, which I can, review.
I think I might review this one this year.
I love the wink.
I would love it just so you can get Graham to play it as well. And then he hasn't got an excuse to not play it because, no, Gray, you've got it.
You can commentate on his race.
Yeah. So, that's me.
Do you know what? I cannot stand F1 racing, so I cannot even think of a question. How do you do it? Is that probably the best one I can think of? How have you got?
Oh, sorry, 1 second. I'm sorry.
He's been playing these since, probably since we were kids, like 95, 96. And he's just recently got himself the steering wheel and pedal combo. So he's proper getting into it. But he's been doing this competition for a couple of years, I think. And he loves it.
That's some dedication.
Yeah,
some absolute.
Apologies for that. My partner couldn't get in the front door.
Was that intentional?
No.
Key in the door. You're not coming in.
Yeah.
I was just saying you've recently got your foot pedal on your steering wheel setup going.
Yeah, so I got a nice bonus from my company over Christmas. So I've always wanted a steering wheel, just to have, so you get the full experience of being able to kind of steering wheel, pedal, clutch, all that kind of thing. It's made the game harder because obviously it's, I've been playing F1 games since, 95, 96, show my age here. And obviously it's always been on the controller. And so after, almost 30 years of playing a controller, you're learning something completely new. So there's been a bit of a, adjustment period, but I'm getting there. And like I said, it makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah. I was going to say, what stick did you pick up in the end? What steering wheel did you get?
Logitech. So it's not quite, obviously the big name is Fanatec and Thrustmaster. The Logitech ones are generally cheaper, but if you look on the reviews, people say they're just as good, if not better. Because the pedals on the Logitech are made out of metal, whereas Thrustmaster are made out of plastic. So, in terms of wear-wise, metal's going to last you a lot longer.
Definitely. I love the fact that we have spoken about Sausage, Solid Snake, Thrustmaster. There was another one that I could not find, and it's just been a complete and utter. Boner was one, wasn't it? It just feels very flaccid that we're just talking about all these.
And we're not even going in. They're just subtle hints as well. Softening your videos. We're not even going all in, are we?
Exactly. We're just.
We could go hard on them if you like, but
just around the tip, Jens. Just around the tip.
What about you, Dan? What have you been playing?
Well, funny enough, I've just finished Donut County.
Good game, that, to be fair. Good game.
It was. I played that.
Did you fill in all the holes?
I did fill in all the holes. I sucked everything up. I played that solely on xCloud. So that was as my wife fell asleep. That was my
with the backbone.
With my backbone. Got my backbone out the minute she was asleep, and I was like, I'm playing this game. I don't care.
And she was like,
exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, So good game. It was enjoyable. It was. I did it just to play it, just have a bit of fun. I'm going through a kind of an xCloud gaming phase now. I'm very much like, I'll find a game, play it, finish it, done, dusted, put that to bed, and I'm looking for shorter games. Next up is probably Maneater. I know it's a little bit longer.
Yes, I got added to Game Pass, isn't it?
And Cloud
remind me now. Sorry. When you're playing like cloud gaming, because obviously I've done it once or twice, do the achievements pop up now, or do they? You just don't know if they've popped yet?
Yeah, they pop up. So
they do.
You
see it on your phone. Okay.
And unfortunately, if you've got that and your Xbox app, one will come up at the bottom, and then you'll get a notification as well, which is highly annoying.
Because I remember playing Battletoads on my phone, and the achievement didn't pop, and I was like, "Oh look!" I noticed that. Oh look, actually, I got an achievement for that. Yeah. But not that I was going for it, but I noticed it didn't pop on my phone, but it did.
Yeah, so it does come up. It does come up, and it does the whole proper achievement. As it.
Because Donut County is one of those relatively to get 1,000 Gs.
Yeah,
One of the games I actually played in the January 10,000 actually.
I didn't get the full G's, but I suppose it's harder on phone because you can't quickly jump to your guide because it takes you out of the game to go back into the game. But yeah, whatever. Played Don't Count It. I finished a game. There we are, boys. There's another one done.
Yeah, it's a good game. I enjoyed it when I played it earlier this year.
It's it's simple, it's easy, it's refreshing,
and it's funny as well.
It's
I was
funny.
going to say, did you actually read any of the story, or did you skip it and go onto the levels?
Some of them, and then I just got annoyed when you kept having these text messages and you had to keep replying, and then you press the duck, and I was like, "Fuck off."
Those bloody text messages.
Yeah.
Seriously. I think there's an achievement where you got to press the duck 100 times in a row or something.
Oh really? Okay, I missed that one. But one of the games I did want to speak about, and Jay will get his boner, is Resident Evil Village. I have now got. Yeah, he's just gone upright, gentlemen. I have just got to the place where you have to get the flasks. So I've got my first flask. I've put that into the slot, and now I'm just like roaming around the village like a loon because I can't get to the exit or the side that you need to get to progress through. So he's given me the key. I've got the wingtip key. I need to find the bottom bit because it's...
Yeah, you won't... I'll give you a very quick tip. You won't find the bottom until you get through to the next bit.
Oh, that's
so you need to get to the next bit.
Yeah,
there's a gate.
Searching for that.
There's a gate with 2 wings on it
that
you can go through, which is to the next area, which is to the bit I didn't say about earlier on, which is the best bit of that game.
Okay, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really enjoying Resident Evil. I would possibly say this could be one of my games of the year. It's overtaken... God, what was the first game I played that I thought was game of the year? The Medium. This has taken over the Medium by far. It's so much better. I do get a little bit annoyed at some of the things the game does, like your inventory system. Oh, I don't mind that, personally. Your inventory system, how you have to manage and fucking play Tetris. Fuck that. I can't be arsed with that bullshit.
See, the thing is, though, I found in my playthrough, again, you're quite early on still, but...
Oh, yeah, totally.
The only time I ever actually adjusted my inventory and twisted all the slots and moved it all around was just out of my pure
OCD.
I was like, I want all these items here. I want all these items here.
Yeah.
And I never ever found that I couldn't pick anything up because didn't have enough space because I hadn't moved it around.
I didn't buy the spaces, so I went through for the blueprints, extra ammo. Bought a lockpick, etc., etc. So all of a sudden, I had like one square there, a square here. So I had to slightly rearrange stuff, then all of a sudden, as you get to or progress to where I am now, you're influxed with money. Like all of a sudden, you'll get through like a fight. All of a sudden, you'll be flush with cash, and you're like, yeah, I'll upgrade my gun. I'll do this. I'll get that. Have no money, then you'll get through to the next stage, and all of a sudden, people are dropping all these. Not crowns, like crafty bits and pieces that all of a sudden you've got loads of money.
Pro tip, always buy the storage space upgrade.
Well, I know that now.
Always. It's expensive, but it's worth it in the long run.
Yeah, no, I know that now. And then also the silly things that look like horses or deers or whatever they are, make sure you shoot them. I didn't know this, so I've left 1 or 2 in the castle.
The little goats here.
Yeah, so c'est la vie. But that's it. That's all I wanted to mention about Resident Evil. I'm not going to talk all day about it, but it's good. So
we can if you like.
No, it's almost 10 o'clock and I want to go to bed.
I mean, Pete's muted himself, but I'm pretty sure he loves it.
Well, I was going to say, I'm not too sure we actually have anyone on this podcast that likes Resident Evil at the moment, do we? It's usually Graham and Ian that talk a lot about it, so we should just move on, I guess.
Totally. It is a good game. Play it. I'm going to quickly plug what we've got on the website and the YouTube channel. So head over to youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official for live podcasts every Sunday. So far, we have got live on the channel. There's like 100 YouTube shorts. I went a bit mental, posted a load. I might have a little bit of a break before I post some more. So lots of shorts if you want to watch them. We also have the review of Heal, which is also on our website, which is xboxtavern.com. You also have the spoiler podcast for Resident Evil. Make sure you listen to that. That is Jamie, Ross, and the other Ross.
And Ross,
Ross's.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ross's.
Jamie and the Rosses. We
Yes.
chatted for about an hour and a bit about Resident Evil. We could have gone longer, but we had to
Only
stop
an hour.
because of.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, yeah, we probably could have gone for 2 or 3 hours, but we had to stop.
They curbed his enthusiasm.
Is it a spoiler-free podcast, or is it? You should
No. We start off by talking about the end boss.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had to
enough.
click off in the first 5 minutes. I was like, whoop, not listening to this. So enjoy that one. For some reviews, head over to xboxtavern.com. You've got a write-up, as Jamie mentioned earlier, of episode number 30, our quiz. Also, make sure you watch that. It was a good laugh. We do have something on cloud gaming for iOS, which was written by myself. So well done me. Props to me. Thank you. And then some reviews. We have A Long Ago, A Puzzle Tale. We also oh my God, what is with some of these names? I'm going to skip that one. Jay and Silent Bob, a Mall Brawl review. We also have Aerial Knights, a Never Yield review. There's another one that I'm not even going to pronounce. There's 0 Degrees and Cosmic Top Secret review, as well as Biomutant. There has been a lot of buzz about Biomutant. Go over, check out Graham's review. He enjoyed it. You might too. You might do too. You will. So
Yeah, it seems to have got a bit of a mixed bag. Like some people, like Graham, really loved it. Some people hated it.
He gets that a
some
lot,
of the
doesn't he? Because
choices.
he got lucky with Cyberpunk as well, didn't he? We didn't see any of the bugs or anything. Whereas I saw that they're releasing a big patch, aren't they, to fix a lot of the fighting mechanics. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
if you got to fix your fighting mechanics, it seems pretty pivotal to a game like that.
Yeah. Well, what I've played so far, I've only played the first couple of hours, but I enjoyed it a lot.
there seems to be a lot of noise about Biomutant and how people are enjoying it. It's quite interesting. Jay, did you want to take one of the? Did you want to do the upcoming on Game Pass and what's leaving Game Pass?
Yes. Upcoming, nothing by the looks of it, because there's nothing in there. And leaving Kingdom Hearts. Is that right? Oh my goodness.
Yes, it
King-
is.
Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 Remix, 2.8 Final Chapter, leaving, as well as Assetto Corsa, Surviving Mast, Void Bastards, and Broforce. See, I'm surprised that Void Bastards is leaving, because that was one that launched into Game Pass
Yes.
as pretty much one of the earliest, one of the first games on there, I think.
Yeah, it was a big when that dropped. It was quite excitable that it was in there. It was quite a good game.
And also, as I say, if you haven't played Kingdom Hearts, play it. If you go back to one of the days, my guilty pleasure game back in the day was Kingdom Hearts, because it was Disney and Final Fantasy. I mean, what's not to love about a Final Fantasy game with Disney characters?
I know. Is it the part where it's Final Fantasy and Disney?
No, because it's great. It's great. You know, you get to run around with Donald and Goofy, and it's great. You know, it's definitely good. You know?
Don't mention a sausage joke. Right. Okay. Moving swiftly on. I think that leaves at it's the beginning of June at some point. So yeah, make sure you play those. Pete, I'm going to drop you in it. Do you want to get the games with gold and the new games with gold as well?
I've got the new games with gold in front of me.
Thank
Actually,
Jesus.
I haven't got Maze in front of me because I ran out of time. But I've
Don't
got
worry,
June.
I'll sort that out.
We already got a day, so.
Let me do Maze. Yeah. So let me drop in Maze. So Armello, you've only got 1 day. Go get it. You've also got Dungeons 3. That's available until June 15th. And Tropico 4. Grab that before it's gone. And for next month, take it away.
Right. So from the June the 1st, which is Tuesday, until the 30th, you've got The King's Bird. You've got Neo Geo Battle Coliseum from the 1st into the 15th. You've got Shadows Awakening from June 16th to July 15th. And you've got Injustice Gods Among Us from the 16th of June to the 30th. That's your June games.
Slightly anticlimactic with the games with gold, but they're free games. We pay for that service, so make sure you collect them.
Even if you don't play them, just click the download button. It's yours, and then cancel the download. That way, it's in your library if you ever get to it one day.
Yeah, totally.
What I do.
I think Injustice is worth a go as well, isn't it?
360 version though, isn't it? So it's a bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it does look.
Get to punch Superman in the face with Sub-Zero, so why not?
Why not? As long as you don't have to kick him in the right. Let's go to the plugs. So, thanks for tuning in. For more Xbox Tavern content, as we mentioned earlier, head over to Twitter and Facebook, and that's at Xbox Tavern. For all our written reviews, they're on our site on xboxtavern.com. And for video content, you will mostly hear me. So if you hate my voice, I apologise. Don't head over to YouTube. But if you like my voice, you need to go to youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official. For all the links, they'll be in the show notes. Make sure you head over to that. I've been at Chocolate Bear. If you want to follow me on Twitter, please do. Jay, you have been?
At Inexan.
And Pete, please
I am-
plug yourself in any way you wish.
I am at Peter Caninch, and I'm very boring, so don't follow me.
Oh, okay.
He likes to talk
I'm-
about Mass
I'm-
Effect and football a lot.
I mostly post about football and Formula One and the odd game. So yeah.
So if you like balls, wheels, or boring stuff, go follow
Brown
Pete.
sausages.
Or Brett.
I'm your man.
Jesus. Right. This has been Xbox Tavern. Guys, take care. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, everybody.
Ciao.
We're done. Bye-bye.
I'll buy it.